in this country. It's not just the minister coming in and failing or succeeding. Their thing has to be passed to a department, and that department can get it wrong in all sorts of ways. And we don't really understand often why things have gone wrong.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we just blame the minister.
Yeah, and I think we misrepresent how much power ministers actually have as well to the public. One example that I can remember was from when I first started working at the New Statesman. Iain Duncan Smith was Work and Pensions Secretary, and he had this almost villain status, particularly among our readers who were very dismayed to see what was happening to the welfare state, quite rightly. From reading memoirs since those times and seeing what Iain Duncan Smith has gone on to do post his ministerial career or his time in that department, you can see the barriers, the many barriers that he was up against. George Osborne, the Treasury, other people in his department. It's not straightforward. It's not just minister comes in and succeeds or fails. And I think I look back at some of our coverage at the time and perhaps we were feeding that personality politics too much rather than explaining why disability benefits were being cut in that way, why the benefit cap was introduced. We did do a lot on universal credit, but the anatomy of universal credit, it wasn't a sexy subject. We did do it, and that's to the credit of my editors at the time, but a lot of places weren't doing that either. And so I think you're right, absolutely. Part of our job as journalists should be to explain what the barriers are to influence and power and getting legislation through, as well as who the personalities are involved in that process.
But I think